Welcome to the Enactus World Cup 2021. It has been an amazing week of passion on purpose, from hundreds of teams and national event winners supported by a network of amazing country leaders, global staff, academic advisors, and dedicated business leaders from around the world.
I have been so impressed. Haven't you been impressed?
Absolutely.
Real world problems these students are making a difference in the year, and they'll continue, right?
It never stops.
From hundreds of teams competing in global races, the 77-second Film Fest, the early stage event, and the advanced stage featuring the Final Four is coming up.
I am so excited. There are so many new opportunities starting here at the Enactus World Cup. You need to check out the student page here on the EWC platform. Join the world-class series with world-renowned guests. You can enter the new 77-second Film Fest that's all about you. You can join the KPMG Hackathon, enter a global race, or fire up an early stage project. You can even link with a mentor. Mentorship is very important.
Indeed.
There's much more for you, and it's all new on the EWC student page.
You are in the right place at the right time. Get ready for impact. We are celebrating the 20-year anniversary of the Enactus World Cup. From tens of thousands of students each year, well over 850,000 SIFE and Enactus alumni continue to change the world. It is time now to honor a few of those alumni.
The Alumni of the Year first hit the Enactus World Cup stage in 2016. Ever since, Enactus alumni candidates are nominated by the country leaders of Enactus and then chosen by their peers. The 4 alumni selected this year represent the collective power and impact that Enactus alumni have in the world. Alumni have become leaders of social enterprises and purpose-driven leaders driving social responsibility in such powerful organizations, from Candid to Enactus, and leading companies like Walmart, Unilever, Ford, KPMG, and so many more. Here now, we have 2 winners of the Alumni Under 30 category. Since graduating in 2015, our winner has continued to further the global goals through her roles at KPMG and International Finance Corporation, a member of the World Bank Group. She was selected as one of Forbes' Under 30 scholars in 2019. Congratulations to Ukwini Agijiowen Ngazi, Babcock University, Nigeria. Now, our next winner believes that business principles combined with deep understanding of social challenges will create a better world for all. As the manager of the Entrepreneurship Hub at a university, she uses her Enactus experience to inspire students who are looking to change the world. So congratulations, Kathleen Kemp from University of Ottawa in Canada. And now for the 2 alumni of the 30 and over category. Our first winner has over 10 years of multi-industry experience in telecommunication, information technology, power, and education. Since graduating in 2009, he has mentored 14 team leaders and over 1,000 SIFE Enactus students to create 100 sustainable projects. Big congratulations to Victor Akinfala from Tai Solarin University of Education in Nigeria. A proud owner of 2 national magazines, our next winner has continued to engage Enactus students and alumni since back in his SIFE days. He believes that mass media has great power to change people and the world. Congratulations, Algumbay Darsan from Kazakh National University, named after Al-Farabi in Kazakhstan. Congratulations to all 4 alumni of the year from Nigeria, Canada, and Kazakhstan. Next up, a message from Mashego, Executive Director, Stakeholder Relations and Corporate Affairs, Harmony Gold Mining Company, and Vice Chairman, Enactus South Africa, NPC.
Hi, my name is Mashego. I'm the Executive Director for Harmony Gold Mines. We are the sponsors of Enactus for the past 15 years. We operate in South Africa and in Papua New Guinea. As we enter the 15th year of partnership with Enactus, it brings us much joy to see the positive impact that the competition has had on the youth that have participated over the years. Whilst the reality is that we still have the COVID pandemic in our midst, the good news is that the number of people vaccinating against the virus is on the increase. This can be observed in the different countries represented on this World Cup competition and beyond. As we open this World Cup 2021 competition, we start off by paying tribute to our fallen colleagues, friends and families who succumbed to this pandemic. May their precious souls continue to rest in peace. We also wish a speedy recovery to those of us that are still recovering from this pandemic. We look forward to the future where this pandemic will be behind us, and we will then be able to congregate again in person to celebrate all the good work that is being done in the different communities through Enactus. In the meantime, we still need to take precautions to stop the spread of this deadly virus. It is for this reason that for the second year, we are hosting the World Cup competition online. Being a continuous sponsor of such a valuable life-changing initiative, Enactus has enabled us to meet our objectives of investing in the youth and their dreams. We believe that the youth are important for nation building, as they are the future of their country. As we start the World Cup competition, we should remember that the solutions that our communities need are those that drive impact, have socio-economic objectives, and create an overall improvement in people's lives. I believe your involvement in Enactus will go to change the trajectory of your life. Enactus has developed leaders, and it also helps to build the confidence and self-esteem of young people. I know that you all will walk away from this experience much better off than when you started. The youth is indeed the heartbeat of our country, South Africa. And I would like to encourage all participating teams from the different parts of the world to keep the eye on the prize, which is beyond just winning the Enactus World Cup competition. I hereby make a call to all of you to win at life. Work hard at achieving your dreams, and like our previous Miss Universe, Zozibini Tunzi, said, go out there and occupy space. Congratulations again to all the participants. May the best team make us proud. I thank you.
Boy, I love that message.
Beautiful, right?
That was great. And he talks about, missing being able to get back together. We hope to be able to get back together with everyone again sometime soon, because there's a certain energy when everyone's in the room, right?
Hopefully for next year, that would be fantastic.
Oh, that'd be great. Well, a vital role in competition is the audit process and tabulation and verification of winners as a result of a judging process that has been conducted for over 144 hours around the world. Verifying the result is our trusted partner, KPMG. Please welcome Brad Sprong, partner, KPMG, private enterprise tax industry leader.
On behalf of KPMG and our 219,000 partners and professionals around the world serving clients in 147 countries, congratulations to each of you. KPMG collaborates with Enactus given our mutual interest in developing next generation leaders with passion on purpose. We are committed to lifelong learning and have collaborated with Enactus for more than 20 years to help students learn the necessary skills to become the next socially responsible business leaders. KPMG professionals are also proud to serve on 17 Enactus boards and support the growth of Enactus around the world. I'm honored to represent KPMG, which serves as the official scorer for the Enactus World Cup. In my role, I reviewed the results as produced by the online scoring system and identified no irregularities. As an official scorer, we work with Enactus leaders to develop a voting process that ensures accuracy and transparency. The voting materials were delivered to us, we verified the results, and now have presented them to the host. Again, on behalf of KPMG, congratulations to all of you. You should be very, very proud of the programs you have implemented and the contributions you are making to our communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brad. Wow, we are getting close. We
Oh.
are getting very, very close.
Yeah.
Hundreds of teams have competed in the qualifying Enactus countries. This week, champion teams competed with 12-minute presentations and written team reports. Tuesday this week, judges from over 44 countries narrowed the field to the top 16. And yesterday, the final four were announced, and well, here they are, presenting in this order. Team number 1, representing Tunisia, is Institute of Higher Commercial Studies of Carthage. Team number 2, representing Egypt, is October 6th University. Team number 3, representing the United Kingdom, is University of Southampton. Team number 4, representing Canada, is Wilfrid Laurier University. Big teams there. The judges have made their pledge to fairness and impartiality, and all teams compete based on the same criteria that read: which Enactus team most effectively demonstrated entrepreneurial leadership to drive business and innovation for sustainable positive impact to benefit people, planet, and prosperity within the last year. Oh gosh, Jeff, who will it be?
Oh my gosh, that is so hard.
All right. Please welcome the Enactus team from Institute of Higher Commercial Studies of Carthage, representing Tunisia.
Agriculture is and has always been the main component of the livelihood of humans, and as such, we were involved in this sector, making a living out of our harvest since the beginning of our existence. However, one can only notice that nowadays, in a growing number of countries, agriculture is no longer sufficient in feeding our ever-expanding demography.
50% of pasture fields have decreased through the last decade, and lack of water is the main cause. Tunisia, for instance, figures on the top 30 list in water scarcity scores, according to the World Resources Institute. Fresh green grass is no longer sufficient for a balanced and nutritional diet for livestock. Farmers find themselves obliged to compensate for this lack with concentrated feed. In a decade, we noticed an increase of 200% in the price of concentrated forage. This inflation results in the constant abandon of activities of sheep breeders in Tunisia.
الآن فهمتها غالية، ومعناها نبيع الحليب ونطلع ونسال ب 57,000 نجيب لك الورقة كاملة.
One should notice that all of these problems are not only affecting Tunisia, but so many other neighboring countries. Taken into consideration all the previous statements, we may have found a sustainable solution, the key that might fix all these issues at once. I am Umayma.
I am Hajar.
I am Arwa.
I am Mohammed.
And we are Enactus Tunisia.
We are here to showcase how our passion to resolve these challenges have revolutionized the whole agriculture sector. Sheep breeding that for years provided over 200,000 people job opportunities. Let us share with you how 3,000 kilometers of traveling and 12,000 hours of work and dedication have led to our project YouFeed.
They say, when solving problems, dig at the roots instead of just hacking at the leaves. So, we dove into the roots of one of the most prominent issues being, why is cattle feed this expensive and what explains its outrageous increase?
We found that the main component of animal food in Tunisian market is imported. Soy and corn are the core of the problem. These ingredients are constantly getting more expensive, and this dependency is negatively influencing not only the lives of breeders, but, and more than ever, Tunisian economy.
First, we conducted a survey with sheep breeders from different regions to understand their needs. With the help of the Ministry of Agriculture, we also started collecting essential information to study the situation. A partnership with the Tunisian Agricultural and Fishing Union was put in place alongside the Livestock and Pasture Office, as their mission is to monitor any project related to economic development in the agricultural field.
This work has brought us back to three obvious facts. We need a sustainable and self-sufficient intervention to revive the farming business and allow breeders to thrive once again. We must substitute imported ingredients with locally more affordable ones. And an unexploited treasure we hold in Tunisia may be part of the solution.
YouFeed is the solution, the first 100% national product consisting of concentrated forage for sheep.
Our product contains
barley, a widely known feed grain for animal feed, alfalfa, our product's main source of protein, bran for more protein and mainly for good fiber, and also added minerals and vitamins. And finally, UFeed valorizes discarded dates.
In fact, 35% of dates production in Tunisia is being thrown away and unexploited. Also, a research has shown that discarded dates provide 87% of the digestible energy for sheep. Thus, by including them in the formula, we will be saving more than 60,000 kilograms of waste per year, bringing us closer to achieving the 12th SDG.
Step by step, we made our first prototype and sent a sample to the lab. With the help of our partners, we worked on the deficiencies and kept improving the formula till the tests turned into pleasing results and good ratios. We then registered the formula and obtained a patent for invention.
Reaching the last stage of experimentations, farmers in different regions tested the product and their feedback was quite impressive and reassuring.
During our field action, we met Mr. Hadi, a dynamic person who has specific knowledge and expertise of the sector and who is an active member of a corporation that works to develop agricultural activities in Gbeli, a region in South Tunisia, and shares our same goal, providing farmers an affordable feed for their sheep. To ensure the sustainability and the scalability of the project, we established an agreement with the corporation as they are willing to be the project holders of UFeed.
اضطررنا أن نفتش على مواد بثمن مناسب من للأعلاف. لقينا هنا وشخص يقول حمزة بطي من أفراد مجموعة إناكتيس. نجحنا فيه لأول مرة باش يقع في الجنوب التونسي في واحات النخيل الجريد ونفساوها.
With our final formula in hand, we bought the necessary machines for production through fundings from the German Society of International Cooperation. We installed them in the production unit and trained workers, which allowed us to create job opportunities. Finally, we started production in Gbeli with the assistance of the corporation.
Now that we have a better understanding of the product, let us walk you through the production cycle. Workers grind the components separately using a machine. After mixing the ingredients, workers feed the powder into a machine that turns it into small pellets, which guarantees better storage conditions than the powder form. Afterward, the product would be carefully packed and sold in 50-kilogram bags. And just like that, our cattle feed is ready to go.
We finally launched UFeed and started selling our product to sheep breeders. The promotion was quite easy as our target clients were those who have already tested the product, and we made sure that their concerns and feedback were taken into account to improve the product constantly and to always be aware of our clients' evolving needs.
وبصراحة مشي عماي نفعني في الزوايل وفي قلة في المنتوجة سمح معناها بان في الزوايل وبان في الغنم وبان في حتى في الحليب.
To give you a concrete idea of UFeed's advantages, let's take a look at the results of our competitive research. UFeed is 30% cheaper on the average, contains nearly 3 times more crude fiber, which makes UFeed an alternative both affordable and efficient.
Indeed, our goal is to reduce the vulnerability of our local farmers and to empower them in order to overcome the struggles dominating the Tunisian market.
As we believe that entrepreneurial leadership is a strength, we always aim to seize opportunities and to expand. We are aiming to develop the product range in order to address the demands of several regions and local livestock. So by the end of this year, UFeed product would have generated a total revenue of $50,000.
And after conducting needs assessment in Algeria, we found out that they have a huge amount of abundant date waste. And UFeed could be the key to a sustainable solution for a problem that they are also facing.
This project's expansions will always be guided by the brand's key promises: local, effective, and affordable products for better nutrition.
UFeed also comes at a time heavily needed, as the economy and international trade has been affected since the pandemic started. And by substituting imported soy and corn with locally available ingredients, we will reduce carbon dioxide emissions and fuel consumption, honoring the 30th SDG.
We are pleased to help this community, and we believe in what UFeed can offer and the change it can make. The smile we saw on farmers' faces not only reflects the positive impact, but is also a promise of prosperity after so many years of struggles.
Dear judges, by switching to our products, we made each one of the 300 farmers save $85 per month. We created 5 job opportunities, addressed 8 SDGs, and generated a revenue of more than $2,500 in just 3 months.
We learned that people only know your story if you write it down. So today, we choose to write our own line.
We choose to create our own path and to walk down the path of change.
Because we believe that change is not only possible, it is necessary.
We are Enactus Tunisia, and together we transform basic needs into business opportunities.
Thank you to the Enactus team from Institute of Higher Commercial Studies of Carthage, representing Tunisia. Here now is team number 2, the Enactus team of October 6 University, representing Egypt.
The water hyacinth, also known as the Nile rose, was said to be cultivated on the Nile as a decoration to beautify the mighty river. But time has proven that beauty has a cost. The rose is an economical and ecological burden to many regions of the world. For over a century, Egypt and many other countries worldwide have focused their efforts on removing, managing, and sometimes even eradicating this aquatic plant.
This global issue has endangered the inhabitants of Kafr al-Sheikh. Badr, a little boy there, lives in fear of losing his father just because he's a fisherman. You see, most of the water bodies are covered with this highly invasive rose, so he finds difficulty to navigate through the waters and find fish, and in desperation, sails in his fragile boat to dangerous territorial waters, almost losing his life along the way. In 2018, 5 fishermen died this way.
The water hyacinth impacts over 50 countries worldwide, surprisingly costing over $150 billion to control. That's because theoretically, if we don't do this and we leave it untamed, it can cover the whole globe's freshwater bodies in almost 3 years, depriving mankind of fresh, drinkable water. We personally came upon this crisis in Egypt when we traveled to Kafr al-Sheikh Governorate, where the Nile water has been covered by this plant, eliminating the potential of fishing to the thousands of fishermen living there, depriving them from their only source of income. Eventually, this pretty rose has led to thousands of families to fall below the poverty line.
But at Enactus Egypt, we believe that every problem has in it the seeds of its own solution. So we started our entrepreneurial journey by traveling over 2,500 kilometers and spending over 1,000 hours studying the Nile rose to see how to turn this destructive plant into products that can be beneficial for the sustainable development of our earth. And from here, Project Cellulose stemmed to life. Project Cellulose is a 3-stage project that utilizes every single part of the Nile rose to create economic development. So, we started by analyzing and studying the components of each part of this plant. Our lab tests have shown that it's the roots and stems that contain an astounding amount of a substance named cellulose. Cellulose is an essential material that is globally used in manufacturing paper, textiles, pharmaceuticals, and even more. Since cellulose is incorporated in so many industries, its global market size jumped to $260 billion. And according to the World Trade Organization, Egypt's cellulose imports in 2020 alone reached $64 million. With the demand being so high, we asked ourselves, how can we bridge the gap between the lack of the local cellulose supply and the increasing market demand? The answer was right between our hands. We just needed to extract it. The answer lies in the stems and roots of the plant, which already composes of 60% of cellulose.
So, Project Cellulose worked with 80 local fishermen on manufacturing 7 extraction tanks that utilize this rose to produce cellulose. The tanks produced 1.5 tons of cellulose monthly, and each ton is sold for $1,250, generating a net profit of $350 per ton for the beneficiaries. By selling 28 tons in 4 months to local factories that use cellulose in their industries, our beneficiaries were able to generate $35,000 in revenue, yielding a profit margin of 28%. Since cellulose is used in many industries, the channel opportunities are endless. We are experiencing rapid sales growth. To meet this increasing demand, Cellulose partnered with Simplex, one of the top industrial solution companies in the MENA region, to manufacture an entire cellulose extraction system. This allows us to increase our production capacity from 1.5 to 15 tons of cellulose per month, therefore working towards fulfilling Egypt's cellulose market demand.
But here's the catch. We decided to create disruptive change across the value chain by producing something that's never been done before in Egypt: alpha cellulose extraction from the Nile rose. Our scientific research team worked on manufacturing a new extraction system that can be used to extract the alpha cellulose, which is the purest and finest form of cellulose and is normally used in manufacturing medicine. This explains why a ton of it is globally sold for over $64,000. But wait, it gets better. We tested the extracted alpha cellulose at the Ministry of Agriculture. Lab tests conducted there confirmed that it's 76% pure and meets international standards.
So, Cellulose focused its efforts on targeting countries that import huge amounts of alpha cellulose for their industries, such as China and India. And we're currently in conversation with 2 of the largest chemical companies there to start exporting to them, selling each ton for $50,000, which is 22% less than the international market price. So, our alpha cellulose is of a high quality, yet a cheaper price. This will help put Egypt on the map of the top alpha cellulose exporters in the world. However, as we watch the coronavirus pandemic play out on a global scale, it's easy to feel helpless in front of it. But Project Cellulose chose taking action instead. We noticed that Egypt is facing an epic shortage of medical supplies, especially gowns, which are normally imported from abroad. Once we identified this huge market gap, we doubled our efforts and focused on filling it by using our antibacterial alpha cellulose to produce high-quality medical gowns.
We did so by contracting with a local company to buy the alpha cellulose our beneficiaries extract and to use it in manufacturing those gowns. This is more than just an innovative product. Compared to the imported gowns, ours are of higher quality, more breathable, and 30% cheaper than the global one. And so far, they've bought 50 kilograms to produce 4,500 medical gowns. So Project Cellulose has not just saved Egypt's water from the Nile rose, but has also contributed to the making of a resilient local medical gown production cycle. We are proud to say it's made in Egypt.
Agriculture is a major component in Egypt's economy, contributing to 14.7% of the GDP. And the agriculture here in Kafr Sheikh alone has a huge impact on our economy. However, the immense number of chemical fertilizers that have been used there has deteriorated the soil's health, which takes us to the second phase of our project.
We found a method to use the water waste from this project, which is rich in nutrients, to produce an organic compost named black liquor that helps condition the soil. Lab tests have shown that this black liquor improves the soil's quality by 25%, therefore facilitating the crop growth rate. So, Project Cellulose opened a second revenue stream by teaching the beneficiaries how to produce this liquor and sell it. Each ton of flour yields 900 liters of black liquor. So far, our beneficiaries have sold 2,400 liters, each for $1.3, generating over $3,000 in revenue. Not just that, the newly installed extraction tanks will allow us to increase our production capacity from 900 to 13,000 liters per month, working towards generating over $17,000 in revenue per month.
But Project Cellulose wouldn't be called a zero-waste project if we haven't utilized every single part of the flour. So we conducted lab tests to determine how to make advantage of the petals, which were previously burnt, causing harm to our environment. Reports show that they contain nutrients that are beneficial in organic feed. So we researched a scientific method to produce fish feed from the petals to further nourish the fishing industry in Kafr Sheikh. After several trials and errors, we tested our prototype at the Ministry of Agriculture, which confirmed that our feed includes 18% more protein and 15% more fiber than the feed normally used in farms. So we passed down our entrepreneurship to 500 villagers and taught them how to produce and sell it, providing them with a third channel of revenue.
It's worth mentioning that a ton of petals produces a ton of feed, which is sold for $260. And so far, our beneficiaries can produce 3 tons of petals every month, allowing them to generate a total of $780 in revenue per month.
Now that we have control over the Nile rose population and we're utilizing every part to improve the livelihoods of so many people, let's take an overview of the impact we've made.
We started by expanding our entrepreneurship to 80 villagers in just Kafr Sheikh and increased their income by 175%, elevating them above the poverty line. Project Cellulose also prevented thousands of kilograms of waste from being burned, ensuring zero waste through this project and working towards ensuring the safety of our ecosystem, and generated a total revenue of over $100,000 in just 4 months.
We care about the impact we make, so we had to ensure sustainability by signing MOU contracts with 3 local and 4 governmental entities to buy our fish feed, cellulose, medical gowns, and fertilizer, ensuring a continuous cycle of supply and demand.
We may have started this project in Kafr Sheikh alone and currently expanding over 11 villages in Egypt that are facing this Nile rose issue. But we're also taking this local solution to a global level to leave an impact on each country of the 50 countries affected by this issue. And that's the business spirit. According to our business model, we're expanding this project to impact every single country of the 50 countries affected by this plan.
This year, we worked on achieving 11 SDGs, directly impacting 1,400 people, indirectly impacting 30,150 people, changing a total of 31,550 lives.
The beauty of the Nile rose brought us together to empower the economy and build hope for the people of Kafr Sheikh. The entire community had their lives altered to the better. And that's why we take pride in ourselves as entrepreneurs who look beyond competitions and awards, thriving for something bigger and more impactful. We are paving the road for all entrepreneurs to build a more sustainable world all together.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dream. And here, we turn these dreams into a reality.
Thank you to the Enactus team from October 6th University representing Egypt. Team number 3 begins in just 15 seconds here at the Enactus World Cup 2021. Here now is team number 3, the Enactus team of University of Southampton, representing United Kingdom.
That vision of a brighter future starts with what we decide right now, what we do here today.
At Enactus UK, we strive for innovation, diversity and collaboration.
The time for change is now. This decision is immediate.
At Immediate, we brew truly sustainable, carbon-negative beer by using surplus bread that will end up in landfill.
We are not a project. We are a certified social enterprise, and we believe that combating global warming is one of the most urgent missions of our lives.
The evidence of our climate crisis is overwhelming. Carbon emissions continue to spew into the atmosphere, and many nation states are neglecting the crisis.
Food waste is a significant contributor to these issues. If food waste were a country, it'd be the 3rd largest emitter of CO2. In the UK alone, 14 million tonnes of CO2 emissions are produced from food waste annually. This is the same as the emissions produced in 4.5 million flights between England and Perth in Australia.
Bread is one of the highest contributors to food waste. 20 million slices of bread are thrown away every day in the UK. To offset this, 14,500 trees would have to be planted on a daily basis, enough to cover 48 soccer pitches. It is therefore not a surprise that Sustainable Development Goal 12 has been identified as the worst performing in the UK.
But there is still time to make real change. We can all be responsible consumers, even when we relax with a glass of beer.
But why beer?
Beer is a mass market consumer product, with 3.9 billion litres consumed in the UK in 2019, contributing to 45 million tonnes of CO2 emissions.
This is why we're creating a delicious and carbon-negative beer brand, and brand that also educates consumers on how they can personally make a positive impact on our planetary problems. Everything starts with our approach. Our manifesto includes 9 pledges, which are the foundation of our business model, a guiding principle that we at Immediate live by.
Our 9 pledges include using locally sourced ingredients from within a 320-kilometre radius of our breweries, using surplus bread to replace approximately 1/3 of our grains, and selling within 30 kilometres for our kegs and 320 kilometres for our cans. We use bicycles to deliver our kegs and, where possible, electric vehicles to deliver our cans. To extend our impact, we are expanding our local distribution hubs across the UK. This allows us to maximise our growth while staying true to our values. Our production process actively minimises the use of single-use plastic and is zero waste. All byproducts from the brewing process are converted to biofuel or animal feed, and our cans are made from recycled aluminium. All of our cardboard packaging is FSC approved, using at least 80% recycled materials, and all of our printing is consciously done using water-based ink. We track all of our emissions and share these with our customers.
The journey of immediate production starts with the collection of the surplus bread from local bakeries and supermarkets. From there, it gets delivered to our partnered breweries, where it's transformed into a refreshing pale ale. We provide our beers through e-commerce and local partners, such as pubs and other local businesses, to provide regular stock, as well as subscription box companies. From there, our warehouse manager ensures all the orders are ready to be dispatched to our customers for next day delivery.
We launched our first beer back in January 2020, selling over 500 pints in the first day and our entire stock in the first 36 hours. Since then, we have adapted and evolved our business to meet the challenges imposed by the pandemic. Capitalising on this, we moved from kegs to cans to ensure that our customers unable to visit the pubs were still able to enjoy our beer. By leveraging our partnerships across the UK, we have been able to make a sustainable, positive impact. We have been able to build a robust supply chain that has redistributed more than 4.1 tonnes of food and supplied over 10 pubs. This is supporting our local economy and creating employment opportunities for local people. We have also developed our new e-commerce channels to provide 15,000 cans of beer to hundreds of customers. Each pint we sell saves 160 grams of CO2 from being emitted into the atmosphere. Across our entire supply chain, the impacts multiply, enabling us to save over 14,000 tonnes of CO2. Our projections show that over the next 5 years, this equates to over 8.5 million tonnes, the equivalent of over 4,000 trees.
But it's not only bread that contributes to the UK's food waste crisis.
Every day across the UK, supermarkets throw away tons of fresh produce. For the 8.4 million individuals who live in food poverty in the UK, this is the difference between going hungry or feeding their family.
By working with local schools, we identified the most vulnerable pupils that no longer had access to free school meals due to the pandemic. Many of these children come from low-income households and struggle with unbalanced diets, lacking vital nutrients fundamental to their development.
Through our mystery bag scheme, we provide fresh produce to those students and families most in need by repurposing the waste stock from supermarkets into bags consisting of 10 to 15 staple ingredients. Using a buy one give one scheme, we were able to supply 60 families with nutritional food baskets on a weekly basis for 3 months during our national lockdown. We provided ingredients for almost 9,000 meals, resulting in 3.8 tonnes of food redistributed and a further 12 tonnes of CO2 emissions saved. But more importantly than this, we provided 60 families access to nutritious food, many of which, without our bags, would have become another number in another statistic of people accessing a food bank in the UK.
But none of this would have been possible without the help of our volunteers.
Volunteering at media has allowed me to take valuable business knowledge that has helped me impact my community positively. I've also noticed changes in my behaviour and attitudes towards climate change.
Through the experience gained with us, all of these volunteers secured full-time work. Due to our commercial success, we have directly hired a warehouse manager and supported the employment of 21 individuals throughout our supply chain. We are currently working with government organisations and another Enactus UK team to further identify and employ vulnerable youths in our area.
We know that if we are to tackle climate change together and for our efforts to not be in vain, we must educate the younger generation to continue the changes we are implementing.
This summer, we actively engaged 200 children in climate change courses to empower them to make impact in the day-to-day lifestyles.
Our strong business principles provide a solid foundation for us to innovate and create a sustainable, positive impact for people, planet and prosperity. This resulted in a rebranding from Futurebrew to Immediate to ensure that our customers know that we are taking immediate action to make a change now. Since our rebrand, we have experienced an increase in sales as a result of customers resonating with our mission, allowing us to further our social and environmental impact.
But it is not only our customers we want to encourage to take action. We want those that we partner with to develop their practices and change their behaviour to help achieve our mission of a cleaner future. Imagine if every pint brewed in the UK in 2019 was produced using our principles. We would have offset 1.2 million tonnes of CO2.
Everybody's focused on sustainability now. Everyone's a lot more aware of it, so you have to take it on board and look at what you are doing as a company and what you can do as a company to improve it.
My name's Sean Larson and I'm a leisure venue and bar owner here in Southampton. We've stocked Immediate for a little while now, and what we've found that really resonates with customers is when the bartenders and when our staff know the story about it being carbon negative and being sort of a sustainable alternative, when they the customers of that story, it really triggers something in the customers.
We recognise that no organisation, including us, can have a long-term sustainable impact without applying a sound business model and having a secure revenue stream. Which is why this year we secured 3 angel investors in a seed funding round, giving us a valuation of £220,000. This helped increase the external visibility and credibility of our company, resulting in interviews with international media such as the BBC. To date, we have $124,600 confirmed revenue in the pipeline, accumulating $41,400 in profit, demonstrating that profit doesn't have to come at the expense of our planet. Built upon our business principles, our strong financial showing is only set to grow, with major corporations interested in stocking our product.
But we don't want our growth to only benefit Immediate. And that's why we reinvest 10% of our profits into climate positive projects, both locally and internationally, enabling us to create a measurable, lasting improvement for the benefit of future generations. Through this reinvestment, we have already collaborated with a team from Enactus India and built a 300 square metre aquaponic system that is revolutionising agricultural practices across their local area. This is helping farmers to combat the serious effects of climate change and crop yield, helping to fulfil their lives socially and economically, reducing the prevalent urban-rural inequality. Our system is currently growing 300 kilograms of produce and is capable of supporting 14,400 plants and 1,600 kilograms of fish at full capacity, generating a yearly revenue of £14,300.
We are planning to expand operations to 2 UK cities, Bristol and Brighton, by introducing 3 more breweries in our supply chain by the end of 2021. We are forecasting 50,000 cans in sales by the end of 2021, with a stock list of over 30 locations. For many companies, expansion comes at the cost of sustainability. But for us, sustainability is at the heart of our expansion. This means more awareness, more CO2 emissions saved, and more lives impacted, all while replicating a community-focused business model built on leveraging local partnerships to minimize global logistical emissions. By the end of 2023, we aim to be operating in 4 countries, inhibiting the emissions of 8.5 million tons of CO2 and supplying over 19 million pints per month, resulting in monthly sales of £2.8 million.
We could tell you about the 14,000 plus tons of CO2 we've already saved, the 20 plus people's lives we've already directly impacted, or the thousands of pints we've already sold.
But our focus is not what we have achieved in the past.
What's important is the action we will take from here, the people's lives we are yet to impact, the CO2 we are yet to save.
But we cannot act alone.
We are part of a bigger motion of change, uniting with companies to fight for a better future.
No one can do everything, but everyone can do something.
The only question that remains is, what will you do in 2030, next year, today?
Thank you to the Enactus team from University of Southampton representing the United Kingdom. Here now is the final team. Team number 4 is the Enactus team of Wilfrid Laurier University representing Canada.
It may not seem like it, given the damage it has caused, but the timeline on plastic is actually pretty short. We didn't even use the word plastic until 1925, but in the 50s, global plastic production took off, and the idea of single-use plastics was born. Fast forward to today, we now create over 300 million tons of plastic waste every year, and plastic production is expected to double in the next 20 years. The timeline is escalating at an alarming rate. Our love affair with plastic has caused it to be pretty much everywhere. The problem is, it's also everywhere it's not supposed to be.
We've been taught to believe that the answer lies in the 3 R's, but this isn't enough. Only 9% of our plastic is actually recycled, 12% is incinerated, and 79% remains in our landfills and waterways.
To build a more sustainable world, we need to rewind the timeline on plastic, creating innovations that upcycle our existing plastic waste, and most importantly, alternatives that prevent the production of plastics altogether. That is exactly what we're doing at Enactus Laurier through 2 of our enterprises, Last 20 and Earthsuds.
The average plastic bag has a useful life of 12 minutes, but at the end of that life, it stays around for another 500 to 1,000 years, and we use 5 trillion plastic bags globally every year. These bags are commonly made of a thin plastic film called low-density polyethylene, or LDPE.
At Last 20, we're upcycling this plastic waste into sustainable pavement. Traditional pavement is 90% aggregate held together with 10% bitumen, a low-grade crude oil. We're replacing a portion of the bitumen with LDPE. Plastic increases the overall durability and longevity of the pavement. It also makes it more elastic, resulting in less cracks and potholes, and more porous so that it absorbs sound vibrations, lowering noise pollution. Our solution is also just as cost-effective as traditional pavement.
Although India has been upcycling plastic waste into pavement for almost 2 decades, it hasn't been until recently that pilots have been initiated in other parts of the world, and in cooler climates. With plastic paving companies in North America all being at the research and development stage, we saw an opportunity to get involved, to create our own solution. Unlike the competition, we focus exclusively on incorporating LDPE, one of the hardest to recycle and most methane and ethylene emitting plastics, to have the highest possible impact on the environment.
To ensure a market for our innovation, we sought interest from municipalities and then brought on an advisor with a PhD in plastic pavement to assist with early R&D. Next, we secured a large volume proprietary waste plastic source and negotiated our first pilot. We brought all the partners together, raised $30,000 in funding, and conducted multiple rounds of testing with CTA labs to determine the optimal mix of plastic to asphalt for maximum strength and stability.
We finally got the go-ahead from our engineering partner on August 12th and started our pilot on September 29th. This is the second plastic pavement project of its kind in Canada, the first ever for vehicular traffic in Ontario. We will be working with Carleton University to monitor the performance of the asphalt. We are lining up future projects with 3 private developers, but the real opportunity is in the public market for road and highway construction, which is approximately $13 billion in Canada alone. Our first pilot is upcycling the equivalent of over 1 million plastic bags. Going forward, for every kilometer of road paved with our innovative solution, we'll be upcycling almost 2 million plastic bags.
But this only helps us rewind the timeline by cleaning up our current plastic waste. With 360 million tons of new plastic produced annually worldwide, what we need to do is stop the production of plastic altogether.
Over 23.7 billion toiletry bottles are used in North America and Europe alone every year. These bottles are extremely difficult to recycle due to leftover product, so they just end up in our landfills and waterways. And traditional products are over 85% water, wasting a vital but limited natural resource. This is the dirty side of soap.
And this is why we created Suds, solid single-use tablets of shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. When you crush, add water, and lather, they work exactly like typical liquid products. They're packaged in recyclable paperboard and reusable travel cases, which eliminate the need for plastic altogether. It's shampoo without the bottle. Since their tablets are solid form, they don't waste water, and the resulting product is 4 times lighter, allowing us to transport more in fewer trips, reducing our carbon footprint by 75%.
But creating an innovative product took time. We spent close to 2 years on research and development to get from idea to final tablet formulation. Production was done by hand, employing adults with developmental disabilities. In late 2019, we were ready to launch our e-commerce site and enter our first retailer. In 2020, our sales revenue, retail presence, and international reach all grew dramatically. But our demand was increasing beyond our current capabilities, and as the pandemic progressed, safety restrictions reduced our capacity even further. We eventually stopped producing tablets by hand and moved to backorder.
If we wanted to create a business built to scale, built to last, and built to change the world, we needed to rethink our approach.
Given we could no longer produce by hand at the capacity required, we decided it was finally time to automate our production. After speaking with several contract manufacturers, we chose a facility in New York that could meet our values-driven selection criteria and that would build customized machinery for our product. While we were setting up production, we took advantage of this time to strategize about our optimal supply chain, marketing position, and channel strategy.
To build out our supply chain with our US manufacturer, we started by resourcing local quality ingredients and found new suppliers for our production molds and packaging. We then signed with a distribution center in New York to cover international markets and a Canadian distribution center to lower domestic shipping costs. To ensure fast and cost-effective distribution, we also negotiated a preferred rate with an international courier and signed with a customs broker.
As we moved to automate our production, we were determined to maintain our commitment to inclusive hiring practices. This year, we employed 8 individuals with developmental disabilities, the positive impact of which is best expressed by Trinity.
Suds is my very first job, and I am so proud now that I can accomplish anything if I put my mind to it. I did it!
So we've partnered with Ready, Willing, and Able, a national organization that provides assistance to employers to help them become more inclusive in their hiring practices. They're helping us scale our impact by creating new employment opportunities for our participants across the Suds value chain. In fact, our Canadian distribution center has recently confirmed their interest in hiring a number of our participants.
We also took advantage of the time to better understand our ideal consumer, how to most effectively reach them, and how to best position ourselves in the market. We dove into the research on green consumers, commissioned a full audit of the shampoo market, and did an extensive analysis of our direct competitors purchasing every similar single-use option in the hair care space and detailing the entire customer journey.
We found that Suds, unlike the competition, meets all the criteria necessary for a real, effective alternative. Our tablet formulation performs better than similar products and is significantly more user-friendly than shampoo bars, while still being competitively priced. Combined with our own primary research, we updated the personas of our ideal consumers in both the home and travel markets. This has helped us to better tailor our messaging and guided a full rebranding and overhaul of our website.
The information we gathered, along with a careful examination of the numbers, led us to realign our channel strategy. This year, although we had secured agreements with the 2 biggest national grocery retailers in Canada, we decided to focus our efforts where our margins were strongest, the e-commerce channel. But we knew it would take more than just our own e-commerce site to be successful. Knowing that over 66% of shoppers start their search for new products on Amazon, and with the potential to be the only single-use tablet listed, we engaged the help of an Amazon broker to create the optimal listing, and officially launched on Amazon.com this month.
With our first major production run at our contract manufacturer, we produced 150,000 tablets, saving an additional 14,000 plastic bottles from ever needing to be produced.
By automating our process, we produced these tablets in less than 2 weeks. That's the same amount of product that would have taken us 2 years to produce by hand.
In fact, we now have the capacity to produce upwards of 4 million tablets per year, which equates to 2.4 million in revenue, of a higher quality and more uniform product that's more stable for shipping.
Based on our sales in the first 10 days since relaunching last month and our increased conversion rate applied against our historical growth rate, we're on track to generate 1.2 million in revenue and $450,000 in gross profit over the next 12 months. Our new supply chain, market positioning, and channel strategy have put us in a stronger and more sustainable position, not just financially, but in our ability to scale our environmental impact as well.
In fact, we are continuing to innovate to remove even more plastic from our everyday routine. To replace the over 20 billion non-recyclable toothpaste tubes produced globally every year, we created Smile Tabs, single-use, plastic-free toothpaste capsules. Our solution has a similar user experience to regular toothpaste, unlike other zero-waste alternatives. Consumers simply twist off the top of the capsule, squeeze the toothpaste onto their toothbrush, and then dispose of the water-soluble and biodegradable film.
At Enactus Laurier, we're rewinding the timeline on plastic, creating innovations that upcycle existing plastic waste and alternatives that prevent the creation of plastic altogether. As of today, we have the capacity to upcycle the equivalent of over 3 million plastic bags with our upcoming sustainable pavement projects, and eliminate the need for over 370,000 plastic bottles with our automated production.
But that's only the beginning. We've created businesses not only built to scale and built to last, we've created businesses built to change the world.
At Enactus Laurier, we're proving that plastic pavement is a viable and necessary technology through our extensive R&D. And as we engage with industry and government to adopt widespread sustainable infrastructure, we will be building a world where all our waste LDPE can be upcycled into plastic pavement, where the 5 trillion plastic bags used globally will no longer enter our landfills and waterways, but will instead be upcycled into over 2.5 million kilometers of road every year.
And by scaling our production and setting up international distribution channels, we are building a world where everyone's daily routine can be plastic-free, where every year over 23.7 billion plastic toiletry bottles will no longer be produced and discarded into our landfills and waterways. In this world, the resources saved could provide clean drinking water to over 631 million people, provide over 2.7 million homes with power, and prevent CO2 emissions from entering our atmosphere, equivalent to taking 716,000 cars off the road.
At Enactus Laurier, we are using entrepreneurial action to create the kind of world we want to, need to, and can live in. One road, one tablet, and one capsule at a time.
That completes the final 4 teams of the Enactus World Cup 2021. Who will be selected Enactus World Cup champion by judges around the world? Will it be Tunisia, Egypt, United Kingdom, or Canada? The world finds out soon. Congratulations to all of the winners so far. Pretty amazing, right, Jeff?
Oh my gosh, they're all amazing.
They are. We've announced the winners for 3 of our global races for Action on Climate, Our Oceans, and Rethinking Plastic. We've also awarded the Alumni Fast Pitch and the 4 Enactus Alumni of the Year.
Coming up in the closing ceremony and winners circle, we'll recap all the race winners for you. You'll hear from Dr. Lord Michael Hastings and the new president and CEO of Enactus, Robin Furman.
Who is best in show for the 77-second Film Festival and the People's Choice Award? I don't know either, but it's coming up.
Who will become a World Cup champion from the Final 4, representing the countries of Tunisia, Egypt, United Kingdom, or Canada?
Oh, the suspense. Pull up to the closing ceremonies next, celebrating 20 years of the Enactus World Cup with a whole lot of passion on purpose. See you soon.
We'll see you soon.